Welcome to Review Every Ship by CitizenCon 2024. The point is to give an update on every ship since some haven't had a video made about them in years, and others, the information is simply too spread out to be helpful in making decisions. When we do a concept ship that isn't in-game, we'll theorycraft about what we think the final product will be using educated guesses and the information available at the time of the review. We'll go in depth, but we won't repeat everything on the RSI website. We will link to sources and fix any errors either in the description or in the comments. And remember, digital ships aren't imaginary, digital ships are imagine-necessary. Before we start, I am giving away an account with the Stella Fortuna themed ship. I'll announce which ship on the day of Stella Fortuna. I'm also giving away a Stella Fortuna skin and an armor or a weapon set for a total of not one, not two, but 3 prizes. To enter the contest, make sure you're subscribed to Billionaire Ninjas. Leave a comment on at least one video and like or dislike a video. When you win, I will verify you through social media, so go and follow the Billionaire Ninjas page at Ninjas Leap on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. The 3 winners for each contest will be announced at the end of the month and will have 2 weeks to claim their prize. The first person to verify gets to choose the best prize. So although you have 2 weeks, you will want to reach out as fast as possible. So make sure you're watching every video as soon as they come out to be the first to grab the grand prize. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. We have arrived at the Crusader manufacturer, and the first ships are the Crusader Aries Starfighter series, and it has 1 variant. We have the Aries Inferno, $250 standalone, 220 war bond, was $195 at concept, cost about $2.9 million in game. The Ion, same price, cost about $2.9 million in game, the same for standalone and war bond. The Aries series is time limited for purchase. I haven't been able to find these for rent, so I'm assuming these ships are not available for rent in game as of 3.22.1. For the sake of clarity, I will call each of these by their unique names, so I'll list them as Inferno and Ion. Whether heading up a crew or hunting big ships solo, the Aries Inferno is a force to be reckoned with. The ballistic Gatling-equipped variant tears through gunship armor and turns smaller fighters to dust in seconds. Spark fear in the corridors of the most formidable gunships and frigates with the Aries Ion. This laser-equipped variant delivers extremely powerful shots to quickly disable the shields of even the biggest enemy vessels. The ship that answers the question, what if we just put one big gun on it? For measurements, they are all the same. Length 27 meters, beam 30 meters, height 6 meters. For crew, the Aries series all have the same minimum crew and maximum crew, which is 1. The Aries Ion and Inferno all carry the same amount of SCU, which is 0 SCU. Sub-Zero. The Aries series all have the same top SCM speed of 170 and max speed of 1120, which is about average overall as of patch 3.22.1 and slightly above average for the medium class of ships. For maneuverability, the Aries series is about average overall as of 3.22.1. And as far as medium class of ships, it's way below average, being the 3rd worst ship for maneuverability in its class. For weapons, both of the Aries have 2 size 5 missile racks stocked with 8 size 3s and 1 size 7 missile rack stocked with 12 size 3s. The Inferno adds a bespoke size 7 ballistic Gatling fixed weapon. The Ion instead adds a bespoke size 7 laser cannon fixed weapon. For ship parts, the Aries both have the same parts: 1 medium radar, 1 medium computer, 1 medium power plant, 3 medium coolers, 2 medium shield generators, 2 medium fuel intakes, 1 medium fuel tank, a medium quantum fuel drive, a medium jump module, and 1 medium quantum fuel tank. The Ion does add an additional medium power plant and additional medium cooler. The hull HP for the entire series has 30,100, which is above average overall and about average for the medium class. The Inferno adds extra armor, so most likely 1/3 more armor than the Ion because the Ion gets 1/3 more shield, so the Inferno should probably have about 40,000 once armor comes online. The shields on both of the Aries are the full stop military grade C shields, which are front back type shields. The shield pool is about 18,000 and it regains about 367 HP per second. The Ion adds a 3rd shield, most likely the same type, which brings its shield pool to about 27,000. For quantum capability, the entire series comes with cross-field military grade C quantum drives. It travels 20 million miles in about 2 minutes and has a range of 241 million. That means it can travel from Crusader to Hurston and from Microtech to Arco without swapping the drives, and it gets there pretty fast. The Aries are meant to go everywhere within a star system or a neighboring star system and come back. They are long-range fighters. Some special features for these ships are it has some gun racks and a little bit of storage excess from the external of the ship. Because the Ion has massive batteries, it can fly without a power plant for a short amount of time. Because the Inferno doesn't necessarily need to use its energy for its weapons, it can go full 50-50 to engines and shields. Now it's time to rate this ship. A rating I rate from 1 to 10. My 1 is only buy if you have a unique reason that is specific to you or because you like the looks of the ship. My 10 is if you have the money, the ship is almost guaranteed to be useful to you in the game. A 1 doesn't mean the ship is useless or ugly, and a 10 doesn't mean that the ship is perfect. Just remember, this is just our rating. Please give us yours in the comments down below, and we will smell them. We're working on smell-based computer technology here at Billionaire Ninjas. It will allow us to sniff out trolls. My rating for this ship is of course going to be handed out based on which variant we're looking at, but it just happens to be the same. The Inferno is a 6 and the Ion is a 6. Let's start with what I like about both of these ships. Both are incredible looking ships. I also like that they both have their own features rather than just being a gun swap. I also like that these ships are unique in their use case and aren't able to just be put in one box. The big thing that adds to these ships is that they have 3 combat roles they can fit into. This ship punches above its weight class, perhaps more than any other ship in the game, which is its intended purpose to take out subcap and capital ships. Also, you can be a torpedo bomber, albeit with very limited ammo if you swap out some of the missiles. You also can take on light fighters if you equip the correct missile loadout, albeit you better be an excellent pilot to pull it off. The Inferno has one of the coolest meta changes in Star Citizen. You can put full power to shields and engines and still be able to fire off the full power of your size 7 weapon. This makes the ship a beast already, but when armor comes online, it's going to be even more of a problem. I also just realized I don't know if you can shoot missiles with no power to weapons. If you know the answer, let me know in the comments and I'll pin the answer to the top of the comment section. This might all change, of course, once 3.23 arrives with master modes. The Ion also has a cool thing, but it's in-game as an intended purpose, not meta. It can fly for a short time without a power plant. That's a huge thing because when master modes comes online and people are aiming at certain ship parts, you will still have time to flee if they take out your power plant. That could be the difference between life and death when you're in a combat ship. This normally still wouldn't be enough to get to a score of 6, so what does it do that gets it there? Well, it comes with an extra shield that the Inferno doesn't have, and it's more time efficient in PvE bounties, and most likely when armor comes online, it'll probably be a little bit faster than the Inferno, or at least maybe a little bit more maneuverable. So the issues are, well, as always, no SCU storage when I think every ship should have at least 1 SCU of cargo. Second, the internal storage is also very limited. Most ships have at least a few thousand micro SCU to transport a few little things with you, but the Aries only has 1,000 micro SCU, which is very small. Then of course there is the maneuverability issue. The Aries is supposed to do firing runs on a target, break contact, and then re-engage, but its ability to break contact is limited by its lackluster maneuverability. I would rather it have average speed and above average maneuverability rather than the other way around. You have fixed weapons. These require more maneuverability to get on target. The Inferno also has a massive weapon spread, which limits the usage of the size 7 to a small degree. The Ion is great if you don't like worrying about ammo, but it's still limited because the same way you can keep recharging those laser weapons, your opponent can keep recharging their shields. Not to mention, these ships just aren't that fun to fly. The guns are fun, but the flight is just too bulky feeling for the size. But ship go brrr. So how would I fix these ships? Give both slightly less speed, but significantly better maneuverability. The Inferno should be a little bit less maneuverable than the Ion though because of the extra armor. Give the Inferno a bit less spread on that S7. Give the Ion a slight DPS increase on that stock size 7 weapon. Give both either 1 SCU of cargo or a few thousand more micro SCU. I would also make these fly much better in atmosphere because these ships are very aerodynamic, so I'm not sure why they don't perform better in Atmo. So, who are these ships for? These can handle small, medium, and large targets if you're a good enough pilot, but these are mostly for people who want to fight medium and large targets on their own. Or if you're going after subcapital or capital ships, you better bring both, because they really only do their job on those ships correctly when they are used together. I imagine these being the ideal fighters to keep in your ship's hangar, and one of the best combat pairings for when you only have 2 people but also have a large target. I personally would have these in my Idris hangar or Polaris hangar, or if I don't have a hangar, keep these in a space station. I wouldn't take them down to planet much because they aren't great in Atmo. I know you're here for our rating, but if you really want a ship, go buy it. We won't stop you. Or even better, all ships can be earned in-game once the game releases, and some you can purchase in-game right now. These are just our ratings, but when you spend, it's your money. My opinion, These are the ships to get if you're in an org, if you know someone who has the other variant, or if you want to put one in your ship's hangar. I wouldn't purchase these outside the game unless you fit that profile, because $250 is a lot to spend on a combat ship that doesn't have a multi-role outside of combat, that also isn't really the best at anything. It's an earning game for me. All right, that is it for this one. Thanks for spending your time with us. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. But ship go brrr.